This is Sean Sport in podcast form.
The Perth Wildcats back at home tomorrow night. They're up against Melbourne United, and then they're off to Tassie on Sunday. That's going to be a big trip as well.
Well, Sean, actually, me and Nat should step in right now because he's our friend.
He's our friend.
You don't know him yet.
You weren't here.
I don't
You
know him
decided to
yet.
take
Yes.
long service leave.
Yes.
Our good friend.
Hello, our friend Elijah Pepper.
Elijah, hello.
How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me again.
No worries. And we'd like to introduce our friend Elijah to our friend Sean. Here
Yes.
you go.
Hello, Elijah. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I saw that over the weekend you're a bit flat with yourself, even though you nailed 5 3-pointers to get the team back in the game against the Sydney Kings. You're a bit flat with not getting the winning shot.
I mean, yeah, I would have loved to have made it. It would have been a good start to a rookie campaign.
Not
but,
wrong.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was good to be able to get the guys and team back into the game, but just sucks we couldn't fully pull it out.
I mean, a 1-point loss on the buzzer like that, it gets you. But you were terrific. You had a great game. You've got to be happy with that overall effort.
Yeah, no, it felt great, especially being like a rookie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one of my first games in my pro career. So it felt great to just be able to have a solid game and be able to get even close to bringing that game back.
But you know what? I want you to understand, Elijah. It's really good for Perth people, the fact that you're good, because it's like when we order something from overseas, sometimes it comes and you go, ugh, or it's shit quality, or it's not the right size.
Yes,
and
that's right.
You are fitting well, and and I'd give you a 5-star rating. So we're not sending you back yet. We're going to throw the receipt away.
Yeah, I mean, that's all right with me. Hopefully it's as good as it's been advertised.
Yeah.
Well, we saw it as seen on TV.
Yeah,
And we're getting it. We're getting it this stage.
Yeah, well done.
Elijah, I want to ask you about your preparation as a shooter and what kind of work you put into your game. So if you look at Kobe Bryant, you read all the stuff that was he was doing. He was always at training at like 4 a.m. and going bananas and making so many
just
shots.
shooting hoops,
Yeah, and of course Steph Curry, does he do 500 shots a day? That's his minimum?
Yeah, I think Steph shoots something like that.
Yeah, so I was asking your preparation.
Yeah, I mean, usually we got 5-ish practices a week, and then on those off days, I'm still going in and getting shots up. And then you got even on practice days, I'm there before just getting shots up, and then after you'll see it's not just me, it's everybody. Everybody stays and just gets shots up, and I mean just doing stuff like that leads to the confidence and preparation and make you feel like you can succeed.
Hey, Elijah, so say you're done with training for the week, you're not playing, you're just like hanging out with your mate that you brought over from America. Do you two ever go down to the park and just shoot hoops at the local basketball ring, or is it only when you're training and professionally?
We haven't here, but we used to back in the States sometimes. We'd go like work out together or whatever, and then just shoot for 30, 45 minutes.
And
imagine what that's like for the other kids or the other people in the just down the same park going, oh, hang on a second.
They're draining them left, right, and
These guys
centre.
are pretty good.
Yeah.
Really humiliating.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be funny if they actually recognized me at some point, but
That's
you
great.
never know.
Hey, what else from Perth have you experienced in the last week since we spoke to you last, Elijah? Have you done anything fun?
No, I haven't done a single thing. Just been playing basketball.
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
he's focused.
that's why we keep him, everyone.
That's right.
Don't show him any of the good things. Just make him shoot a ball.
Elijah, what have you made of the NBL so far in the short period?
I mean, the physicality is it's a lot different than college, and I mean, I'm a fan of it. I consider myself a decently physical player. The pace is a lot faster, which I also like. And then, I mean, I think I've heard that NBL, especially this year, is a lot more competitive and just a lot better overall competition than it's been in years past. Which I mean, I'm a big fan of. So, I mean, that's great to hear as well.
Every year it's getting bigger and bigger.
For sure. I noticed the other night watching the game from my couch, Elijah, that there are a lot of handling errors, a lot of turnovers. Is it just a matter of the team hasn't quite gelled yet, and that when that all clicks into place, you guys are going to be formidable?
Yeah, we talked about it, and we think, I mean, it's pretty uncharacteristic of us. I think we started the game with like 4 to 6 turnovers.
I couldn't believe it.
Crazy. Before even being able to get up a solid shot attempt, and then started the second half kind of the same way. So, yeah, we talked about it. It's a little uncharacteristic, and we don't think that's going to be an issue. It's just, kind of getting the guys to gel a little bit more and figuring out how everybody wants to play and then going from there.
I can't wait until you have a really intense moment on court, Elijah, and then you go off at someone, because the West Australian are going to have a headline called Pepper Sprayed.
Yes.
Pepper Sprayed.
Pepperhead.
They're just waiting for it.
Yeah. Well, Elijah, we can't wait for this weekend because you're up against Melbourne United at home tomorrow. The Red Army will be out in force. You're going to love that. And then off to Tassie, mate. What a big weekend.
Yeah, Jack Jumper's reigning premiers. So, good luck there.
Mate.
Yeah, thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Sean Sport in podcast form.
In tennis news, to kick things off, Yannick Sinner, world number one, got beaten by Carlos Alcaraz. It's the China Open, right? So the season's coming to an end in tennis.
Yes.
In the tennis.
Yep.
It always ends with the Shanghai Masters, which is the big event.
Yes.
And it's worth a truckload of money. So Yannick Sinner's the world number one player, but does anyone seem as the world number one player?
No.
I mean, he's won lots of things. He's up there.
Yeah, but
he's
he doesn't.
awesome.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the shine of a number.
No.
You know what I mean?
So Novak at the moment, he's coming back from injury, but he is just solely focused on this last event of the year. And if he wins, that'll be his 100th title.
Yeah.
And whilst he is not, number 1, 2, or 3 at the moment, you could just see him coming in and going, I'm going to win this thing, and I'm just going to take it out.
On any given day, he's still up there.
But that Carlos Alcaraz is going to be a guy that's going to win
So is he number 2 at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to win double digits when it comes to Grand Slam titles. No question about that.
He's the future.
In fact, he's actually beaten Yannick the last 4 times they've played each other.
We do know that in the world of sports, China really does love to push the limits on rules and things. What's the change room like situation for the Chinese players and the rest of them in China? Because I could imagine that they would be in a laneway.
I don't have a clue to answer that, but I do know that Yannick, to get into the final, had to beat a Chinese opponent. And 1 week he was skinny as a rake. The next week he had muscles like you wouldn't believe.
Exactly.
I'm just putting it out there, mate.
Yeah, they did push it. It's an interesting game. Interesting games there.
All of a sudden he's serving 240 k's an hour. Well, that's interesting. In the NRL overnight, there was some news with their Daily M Award.
Yep.
Daily M Award, which is their best and fairest. So Jerome Hughes from the Melbourne Storm took out the men's award, which is the Daily M. Olivia Kenrick of the Sydney Roosters, she was the Yvonne Sampson winner, which is the women's best and fairest.
Yeah, well done. Nathan, quick pop quiz. How do you spell Jerome?
Jerome. Jerome.
No.
J. No?
Well, traditionally you spell it J-E-R-O.
Yeah, I know there's a J. I thought it might have been J.
J-A-H-R-O-M-E. So that poor guy has had to spell his name his entire life.
do that.
My name's Jerome.
Is that cultural or bogan?
I mean, these days,
it
bogan
could be
is
cultural. It could be cultural because he's a Kiwi, and
So it could be cultural, yeah. Because otherwise, I mean, you hear the other ones that are bogans. Like,
I know, but people do that all the time with their kids spelling.
They have to spell their names on every occasion. Yeah.
Weird spell.
Yeah. Yeah, N-A-Y-T-H-O-N. N, letter 8.
No, G-N.
G-N, letter 8.
Yeah, absolutely. In the AFL world, Marcus Bontempelli won his 6th Charlie Sutton medal. That's for the Western Bulldogs, fairest and best.
Yeah.
So the record is held by Scott West, winning 7.
Yeah,
it's
right.
extraordinary to have him, Chris Grant, who's won a truckload as well, and Marcus Bontempelli winning so many. And some of the stuff that he was saying in his interview afterwards was he separates each season. So he's done with that season, that is gone.
So he starts fresh
from
next year.
Fresh slate every year and back to work, and he's back to work already.
He's extraordinary, extraordinary player.
It would be a healthy thing to do with relationships, wouldn't it?
Just...
Absolutely.
On New Year's Eve.
Any of this happened just recently? Done.
Okay.
We start again.
Fresh.
Can I throw this out there, though? But what happens if you've done all the good stuff?
Well, I mean, then you're a good person.
But it doesn't count for anything because you're starting the day the next day fresh.
I know, but Sean,
so you just have to be a good person again, Sean.
As we know, and we know in a lot of relationships, and a lot of people are going to agree right now, over the year, if you do little things, some people use those as weapons to attack you afterwards with them during the year.
So once New Year's Day ticks over, that you can't bring up anything from the previous year.
A couple of my friends, they use it all. They go for gold at each other. They'll pick up stuff that happened 10 years ago at each other. And they'll use it as a weapon.
That sounds healthy. me.
I was like, oh my God, I know I'm single, but this isn't right.
I know, but it's real.
But I know it happens in every relationship. Sometimes when someone does something wrong, you get really excited because you go, I'm putting that in the toolbox.
Gotta write this down.
That goes in the guns cabinet.
Sean puts it in his notes though, because he doesn't back it up to the cloud. He loses it.
You forget. You go, wait there.
I'm halfway through yelling at Megan and I can't remember what I'm doing.
So Sean starts afresh every time he gets a new phone.
Hilarious.
Sean Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.